Hey guys, um, didn't get out today, but I did want to share a dream that I had, so I just thought I'd try to do this at home, not driving down the road. So if you like it, good. If not, sorry. Okay, so I'm just gonna jump right into the dream. Very short, but it took me a whole day of chewing on it and praying about it, and actually stumbling across another video that another guy had posted where he had made a connection, through the number in his dream. So, anyways, I'll explain that, after I tell you the dream. So basically, uh, you know how when you dream, it seems like there's a lot of other stuff going on in the dream, but the thing that stuck with me, the main part was that uh, I had been instructed to go and uh, I don't know, what do you call it, support or fund uh, the I'm not sure about the girl, why she was chosen, but anyways, I was supposed to go to her and give her money to purchase a homecoming. Now, it was very specific that it was a homecoming dress, not just like prom dress. But it still felt like some kind of a celebratory dress like that you might would do at prom, but specifically a homecoming dress. And so I was speaking to her mom or her foster mom. I'm not sure. It didn't seem like that they were, mother daughter, but she did have, authority over this young girl. So I was explaining to the guardian of this girl that she had a budget of $900 to purchase a dress that would be for the glory of God. That she would be whatever she chose. She could choose whatever one she wanted, as long as it reflected, honor and glory to Yahweh, the Father, Elohim, God. So the guardian lady proceeded to tell me that she's like, "Oh, this is so exciting." She's been looking at a certain dress, and she just really, would be so excited to be able to get it. But it was, made known to me that this dress she had been looking at was actually a very risque uh, dress, very sexy dress. It was, above the knee. It was tight fitting. It was red. It was everything opposite of what would be, glorifying, or bringing honor to, you know, uh, Elohim, to Yahweh. So I told her that as long as she, picked the dress that was, for the glory of God, she would have $900. However, if she chose to not, abide by that stipulation and pick something else that was, not appropriate or not by those guidelines, then she would only have $500 to spend for that dress. And there's a few other things in the dream, but that is just the main part, and that's the part that I wanted to uh, talk about, that I feel like Father was really trying to, uh, you know, bring it home and for us to understand. So, like I said, I had this dream yesterday. I guess actually, I think it was the 21st, or the night of, in between the 21st and 22nd. So I thought on it, and all day, and kept, I think I, had let it go, and it come back to my mind. And at first, I was just thinking it was just some random dream, just just a busy dream. But I was looking at some, a gentleman had posted a video and he was talking about a dream that he had, to where in his dream he was driving a car, and he noticed that on the speedometer he was going uh, basically 144,000 miles, an hour, or 144 miles per hour. Anyway, so later on, he had been meditating on that dream, and Father, spoke to him and said, "How fast were you going in that dream?" So it brought his attention back to that number, which, led him to have, further understanding about the 144,000, messengers, or the people in the tribulation, the 144,000 who will be ministering during that time. Um, but anyway, so that just got me thinking. When I heard him make that connection to the speedometer and the numbers, I was like, huh, I wonder, if there's any significance to that $500 budget versus the $900 budget, if that was significant. Because it was very, it was, it wasn't just random that, the dream, was just like, oh, you just got, you get to have a lot of money if you pick one way and a little bit if you pick the other way. It was very specific to $500. And actually, I had 900 $100 bills. And so whenever I went to leave, I made, the woman to understand, and apparently she chose the $500 route. She wanted that sexy dress, and she did not want, the dress that would be honorable and that would bring glory, to the Father. So, and as I left, my husband was actually there with me, who, he's passed away, but he was there in my dream. And as we left, he had been observing. He didn't, have any part in the dream, except he was like just observing, and he was a witness. And as we left, I was sad to tell him, I was like, unfortunately, she chose the 500. And so, he could tell that, I was sad and disappointed. And anyways, that was the end of the dream. So I'm pretty sure that what Father is trying to say here, after I was so impressed about the number, from the dream when the guy made that connection with his speedometer, I thought, well, I'm going to go and look up these numbers and see, do a little research behind that and see what I come up with. And when you're looking up things with the numbers, there's lots of different ways you can go. If you are looking through gematria, or you're just looking in the concordance and looking at actual words, that are, under, that number. I'm sure most of y'all who are listening to this video, you probably are aware of that. But for those of you who don't know, gematria is just the numeric value of a letter. And, there's, the Hebrew letters, all have numeric value to them. And so I look at that a lot. But anyway, so I went and I looked up this 500. And what I found in the Hebrew concordance is that the word that is listed under 500 is actually the word for Antichrist. So I thought that was pretty, obvious there. And now when I looked up 900, I couldn't find anything specifically under 900. But a lot of times in gematria, if you they'll drop the zeros. They don't. So I actually looked at the number 9 and did a research about the spiritual biblical meaning under the number 9. And that is actually the number of completion or divine completion. Like Yahusha, Jesus, when he actually died on the cross, it was the 9th hour. And there's many other things about the 9, is significance there. But anyways, to me, it's just obvious that it's time for our homecoming. Those of you who don't believe in a pre-tribulation rapture, I'm sorry for you if you believe you have to go through judgment. Now, if don't have your faith, obviously, you will not, if you don't believe that you're going to be raptured and you're not looking, you're not going to get it. So, I can't argue with you about it. I mean, it just is the way it is. That's the way I believe it to be. And so, with that in mind, I definitely see the signs of the times, and we are so, we've been seeing it for the last few years now. All these signs coming together, everything converging. Israel on the verge of building the third temple. I mean, it's just so much going on. I mean, it's almost impossible to not see that, it's time. And it's going to be homecoming for us. We will be going home, but you have to be dressed for the part. It talks about the reference to the wedding, attending the wedding. And the scripture, talked about how that, the people were invited to the wedding, but when it came time, the grooms, went around, and the people who weren't dressed appropriately were kicked out of the wedding. They didn't have the proper attire for the wedding. It's very important. It's all symbolism. We are to be covered under our Messiah, Yahusha, or Jesus. He is our covering. He is our garment. His blood sacrifice for us. We are covered under that. We have our covering through him. So that's why the $900, the complete, the perfect, you having your perfect garment, that's what you want, that perfect garment of the Messiah. Whereas the 500, which that actually, the 500, in the Hebrew concordance, that actual word was Antichrist. So if you are not for the Father, if you are not of the Spirit of the Messiah, Christ is, that's the Greek word for Messiah, and Hebrew is Messiah. So he is our Messiah. Yahusha is our Messiah. And if you are not for him, then you are anti him. You are the spirit of the Antichrist. So you choose that $500, that cheaper, fleshly, sexy, sensual, version of your own God. You're trying to be your own God. You're doing it your own way. You're bringing glory to yourself. She wanted to wear that sexy dress, not just because, it just makes me feel good about myself, which that's what a lot of people say. No, she wanted to be seen. She wanted to be worshiped. You might say that's a little strong to pull that conclusion, but no. When you wear the clothes that you wear, it's to make a statement about you. You are wanting people to see what you're wearing. I mean, when it's all about that, when that's the most important thing to you is what you're wearing, which, they trained us up in school, the world, society, trained you up to be so worried about your clothes and the brand, and because they focus on you being the one who's, the attention is on you. People seeing what you look like, what you are wearing. So that's, you're your own little God. And that's what it's all about is, the enemy is always wanting to be God. He wants to put his throne above Father. That's what it's all about. That's what your flesh wants to do. It wants to be in control, be God. It wants to get the glory. It doesn't want to surrender glory to the Father. So anyway, so there you go. That's the dream. Choose the right outfit. Get yourself prepared. Go spend that $900, which, I know actually, that, really, nowadays, that might not be very much to spend on a fancy dress, But, we're just comparing the numbers here, 900 to 500. You might can spend less money and get you something, that that's all about you. Or you can spend more money, invest more, and get that glorious garment that is going to bring glory and honor to your Father, your Heavenly Father, Yahweh, our Elohim. So that's what we need to do, guys. Get ready for your homecoming. Get your dress, get your suit, spend money and get the good stuff. It's just, people nowadays, you can't even entice them with the glory of, you tell them what, eye has not seen, ear has not heard the things that the Father has prepared for those who love Him. That it doesn't faze them. If they can't see it right here, right now, touch it, smell it, and, enjoy it now, they don't want it. They can't wait. There's no such thing as an engagement anymore. People just go right to bed with somebody before there's no engagement. They consummate before they ever even get to know one another. They don't take the time. They get together first. They jump into the bed first, and then the next day they're like, you don't look so good to me this morning, and they're off to the next one. So that, that's just the way it is. That's sad. That's the condition of this world. That's the condition of our nation. And it's ripe for judgment. For us that's looking for Him, it is a glorious homecoming event. We're going to a wedding. We're going to the wedding supper. We're going to be celebrating. But for everybody else, unfortunately, it's judgment. Once that seal is open, when the Lamb opens the seal and the judgment starts falling, people say, oh, well, at that point, if I see the rapture and I see that, well, then I'll believe. I don't think you're going to have the time to do that. I think it's going to be simultaneous. I think the moment that everything starts happening, judgment falls, the catching away happens right before that. It says we are pray to be found worthy to escape. And so that to me implies it's going to happen very quickly. Excuse me. So don't think you're going to have time to, make that decision when you see everything, happening. At that point, it could be just a day late and a penny short. So, okay, guys. Well, I just wanted to share that with you, and I'll be praying for you. See you in the next one.